It's almost time to rally in the valley. But first, it's the Matsu Miners pregame show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into Mulcahy Field. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock for today's Game 1 of the Top of the World Series, taking place in Anchorage, Alaska, between the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks and the Matsu Miners. And it's just a beautiful day here at Mulcahy. The Miners seem to always come whenever there's rain, but it is beautiful. No clouds in the sky, so no chances of rain. Both teams are out on the field doing some last-minute stretching, just kind of talking things over with their teams before they take the field for Game 1 here. And the Miners had the day off yesterday, had a short little practice, a little hit around, and then had the rest of the day off and headed down here to Anchorage earlier this afternoon. Last time they were on the field was on the 27th, a doubleheader against the Anchorage Bucks. They split the doubleheader, losing the first game 11-2, and then winning the second game 8-4, with Kyle Serrano getting the start in Game 2. And we saw 5 pitchers for the Miners in Game 2, and we saw 5 also for Game 1. And on the mound tonight for the Miners is Tyler Stubblefield out of Texas A&M University down in College Station. The 5-0 record, 42 2/3 innings pitched. It's given up 30 hits, but only 5 earned runs. Has only walked 9 and struck out 45 with an ERA of 1.05. So just an outstanding line on the Texas A&M Aggie. And on the mound for the Panners is Mike Benson. Benson out of the University of the Pacific with a 4-0 record, has pitched 43 1/3 innings pitched, 34 hits, 18 runs, 16 of those were earned, 13 walks, 42 strikeouts with an ERA of 3.32. So it's going to be a very tough game on the mound against these two pitchers, against two very talented hitting teams.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Both these teams are definitely tops in the ABL, the Miners and the Alaska Goldpanners. And, I think it really does come down to pitching. And when you were giving out the numbers for Tyler Stubblefield, the number that really got to me the most, I think, is those walks. Just the 9 walks in his 42 and 2/3 innings. And that's huge because he's just been so reliable with his command. And the Miners, we know they've struggled at times throughout the season with that command. And he's been that very consistent guy, doesn't give up a lot of walks. And he really has that strikeout number, too. And that's definitely, he's that picture-perfect, guy that you would go for in Game 1 of the Top of the World Series.
And looking at the Miners lineup, run you quickly through that. Paul Panachone leading off at shortstop. Cam Newell back in the lineup. He had the day off against the Bucks 2 days ago in right field. Matthew Decker at first base. Josh Meyer behind the plate for the Miners, batting fourth. Batting fifth is Cameron Frost in center field. Johnny Loker batting sixth out in left field. Terrence Conley batting seventh at second base. Mitchell now the designated hitter, batting eighth, and Jordan Rogers in the ninth spot at third base. And Mitchell now was our player of the game for the second game of the doubleheader on the 27th, had 2 home runs. His first home run came in the second inning. It was a 3-run shot over the right field fence, just got out of here quick. And the second one, a solo home run in the 4th inning over the left field fence. So Mitchell now has been a little bit quiet. It's kind of fair to say he's been a little quiet, but then just exploded against the pitching by the Bucks, and has now earned himself the designated hitter spot here in the Top of the World Series.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest reason he's back in this lineup. And during batting practice today, put on an excellent show, hitting a lot of home runs to left. Of course, the ballpark here at Mulcahy really carries the ball out of here, and it's kind of a hitter's park. And, I kind of think that he's becoming more comfortable, and I think that designated hitter's role is good for him because you get the bat of Josh Meyer and the defensive game from Meyer in the lineup as well. And Mitchell, you get that bat in there. We've seen it at times very explosive, as you said, and at other times maybe not so much.
Right, and kind of talking about the hitter's ballpark here in Mulcahy, Fairbanks is a very, very small park, 280 feet down both lines, down the left field line, and it's just very small. If you've ever been there, there's what someone described as a softball fence, and then the actual baseball fence, like wall behind it. It's a very small park and very easy to hit home runs out of there. And so looking at, a lot of these stats that the Panners have, you kind of have to take that into consideration because up to this point, they've played most of their games at home because they're up in Fairbanks, which if you've never been to Alaska, is it's about a 7-hour drive from Palmer, and so it's about an 8-hour drive from Anchorage, which is the home of the Pilots and the Bucks, and then Kenai, that would be about a 12-hour trip from the Kenai Peninsula to Fairbanks. So it's pretty far away. So they're down here. They've been down south part of Alaska. I guess that's geography.
Weeks.
Yeah, for 2 weeks.
Their last home game was that last game against the Miners when Tanner Pinkston hit a 3-run home run. It was a walk-off home run, and not to take anything away from the Panners, they're very talented. Their pitching is good. Their hitting is good, and I mean, looking over the numbers this morning, batters 1 through 9, it's just strong. And these guys, I noticed there's some of these guys, their bat speed is what helps them so much. Cody Nolf, the shortstop from Orange Coast College, transferring to Auburn for next season, he is someone that is just such a good hitter. I don't really know if there's any other way to say that. I know that's pretty broad and not in any detail, but a good hitter, and he's got the bat speed, and he hits the ball really hard, and he hits it to the gaps, he hits it through the hole, he hits it up the middle, he does just about everything. And again, not to take anything away from the Panners, they're very talented, but that ballpark, the numbers are, they look a little bit better than, I'm not going to say they are, but that's something to consider, that the size of the ballpark and also the teams they played at the beginning of the summer. They played the Lake Erie Monarchs, the San Francisco Seals, the Oceanside Waves, those non-league games that the Miners played. And, these guys are good. They absolutely deserve to be here because even in conference play against the Oilers, the Miners, the Chinooks, the Bucks, the Pilots, whoever, those numbers stayed. They pretty much stayed the same. If not, they got better. So, they're certainly deserving of being here. There's no question about it.
And, yeah, it might have come off that I sounded like the Panners are not a good team.
No,
but
I think I did too.
But they are. Looking through the lineup 1 through 9, there are only 2 batters in the 9-person lineup that they have that are batting under 300.
Yeah.
Their second guy, Hurst, in center field tonight is batting .429.
That leads the ABL.
Right, and they have Cody Nolf, Vaughn Bazoian, and Jacob Hayes. Nolf and Bazoian are tied with 38 RBIs, and Hayes has 42. So these are big numbers. It's more of the home run side of things that I kind of think about. Well, what park did they hit those home runs in? But these batting averages, these doubles and triples. Hayes has 4 triples and 8 doubles. Pinkston has 7 doubles and 31 RBIs. These guys, these are 2 very talented teams, and it's just you just gotta lay it out there. They're very different parks, and we are in a neutral site here in Mulcahy. Mulcahy in Anchorage, of course, about 7 hours south of Fairbanks and only about 45 minutes south of Palmer. So, yeah, and the wind is a little, the wind keeps kind of randomly picking up at times. It's blowing kind of out of left field, but now kind of coming into left field. So that might be something to think about also. But we will step aside and take you down into Mulcahy Field for the lineups and the national anthem. We'll be right back after this.
Including specifically but not exclusively the danger of being injured by unraveled basketballs. Those attending the game agree with injured trust, its manifestations and players are not liable for injuries resulting from such causes. So let's thank you and let's enjoy a great baseball game. Introducing the starting lineup this evening for the visiting Matthew Miners. Leading off and playing shortstop from Grand Canyon, number 3, Paul McNell. Batting at second and playing right field from UC Santa Barbara, number 14, Pam Noel. Batting third, playing first base from Stanford, number 28, Matt Decker. Batting fourth and catching from Grand Canyon, number 24, Josh Meyer. Batting fifth, playing center field from Washington State, number 22, Cameron Cross. Batting sixth and playing left field from Stanford, number 12, Johnny Loper. Batting seventh and playing second base from UNC Wilmington, number 26, Terrence Conley. Batting eighth, the designated hitter from Texas A&M, number 30, Mitchell Dow. And batting ninth, the third baseman from Tennessee, number 7, George Rogers. Starting pitcher tonight for the Matsu Miners from Texas A&M, number 50, Tyler Stubblefield. And now, introducing the starting lineup for the home team, Alaska Goldpanners Fairbanks. Leading off and playing left field from Pepperdine, number 2, Brandon Caruso. Batting second and playing center field from Bishop Amateur Prep, number 12, Scott Hurst. Batting third, the shortstop from Orange Coast College, number 7, Cody Hull. Batting fourth, the designated hitter from Concordia, number 30, Vaughn Mazzoni. Batting fifth and playing first base from Cal State Fullerton, number 28, Tanner Princeton. Batting sixth and playing right field from Indiana State, number 10, Jacob Hayes. Batting seventh and catching from Long Beach State, number 3, Eric Cutting. Batting eighth, playing second base from Fresno Pacific, number 5, Hunter Villaleva. And batting ninth and playing third base from Oregon State, number 4, Tyler Mildenberg. Starting pitcher this evening for the Goldpanners from the University of the Pacific, number 20, Mike Benson. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please rise and take off your caps for the national anthem.
With 6 teams, now it's down to 2. 160 players had hopes of playing for a title, but only 52 made it.
The Miners finished first in the National League with 21 conference wins and finished 5 games ahead of the Anchorage Glacier Pilots.
Ben Taylor and his team are looking to make some history in the Valley. It's been 4 years since the last banner was raised in Matsu.
11 Alaska Baseball League All-Stars and a regular season series split of 4 with the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks. Now the Miners want to turn those 2 losses into wins.
The Goldpanners eliminated the Miners in the tournament last summer, and now the Miners are looking for their revenge.
2 teams full of talent, batters 1 through 9, and the National League starting pitcher Tyler Stubblefield gets the ball here in Game 1.
And the first step toward a championship starts now. Game 1 is next on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Good evening and welcome inside Mulcahy Field for Game 1 of the Top of the World Series, the Alaska Baseball League Championship between the National League champion Matsu Miners and the American League champion, the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks. Good evening, everybody. I'm Austin Pollock with Emma Tiedemann. Well, the Miners and the Panners, they finished atop of their respective divisions in a season series split. 2 games apiece for both sides, and they've got their top two pitchers going in these games. They've got Tyler Stubblefield for the Miners and Mike Benson out of the University of the Pacific going for the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks. And both these guys are quite talented. Tyler Stubblefield started the All-Star game for the National League, and the lefty out of Texas A&M leads the ABL with that 1.05 ERA. But the Miners, they get the first shot to score first, and when they score first, be careful. They are quite dangerous, and also when they're down, they're quite dangerous as well.
That's right. You can never count these Miners out. No matter the score, the Miners can come back. We've seen it time and time again that whenever they're down, they always find a way to fight back, and it's usually a different guy every night being that person to step it up and put the Miners back on the board to win the game.
We are ready to go here at Mulcahy. Standing in for the Miners is the leadoff man, the shortstop, Paul Panachone out of Grand Canyon. Benson sets, pitching from the stretch, and here's his first pitch. It's a fastball upstairs for ball one, and we are underway at 7:03. Panachone out of Grand Canyon. Benson sets, fires a 1-0. Fastball in the outer half for a called strike. Panachone finished the regular season at 290, no home runs, and 13 RBIs. Benson looks into the catcher, Hutting, 1-1. Popped up into shallow left, going out is the shortstop, Nolf. Coming in is the left fielder, Caruso, and it is Caruso who dives and makes the catch. Excellent catch from Brandon Caruso, the left fielder out of Pepperdine. And just like that, there's one down. Defensive alignment for the Panthers, Tyler Mildenberg at third base, Cody Nolf the shortstop, Hunter Villanueva at second, Tanner Pinkston at first, left to right, Brandon Caruso, Scott Hurst, and Jacob Hayes. Eric Hutting doing the catching for Mike Benson. Here is Cam Newell, the right fielder out of UC Santa Barbara. First pitch, slider inside, but called the strike, 0-1. Newell finished the regular season hitting .353. That was third best in the ABL. 7 homers and 39 RBIs. Miners with the green tops for game one. 0-1 pitch from Benson. Lifted into shallow right. Right fielder Hayes went back now, comes in a couple steps, makes the catch, and there's 2 away. That'll bring up the first baseman out of Stanford, Matthew Decker. Decker at 267, 2 homers, 18 RBIs. Decker with the high green socks points his bat toward the pitcher Benson. Benson pitching from the stretch. First pitch. Fastball up and away for ball one. Benson was 4-0 with a 3.32 ERA this summer for the Panthers. Walked just 13 and 43 1/3. Here's the 1-0 to Decker. Slider on the outer half, a called strike, 1-1. Mike Benson, the righty out of Pacific from Prescott, Arizona. 1-1 to Decker. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Benson pitched against the Miners on July 16th up in Fairbanks. No decision. The Miners won that game 7-1. Gave up 3 earned runs in 5 innings. 1-2 from Benson. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chased a slider outside, and that's the first strikeout for Mike Benson. It's a 1-2-3 inning for the righty from the University of the Pacific. Panthers coming up in the bottom of the first on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Miners go down in order in the top of the first. Now the Panners try to get something against the lefty out of Texas A&M. Tyler Stubblefield leads the ABL with that 1.05 ERA. He's 5-0. He's given up just 9 walks in 42 2/3. Leading things off is the left fielder from Pepperdine, Brandon Caruso. Stands in on the right side against the lefty Stubblefield. And the first pitch is a fastball. Chopped to first. Decker has it. A little bit of a bobble, but takes himself to the first base bag. Now quickly one away. First pitch swung at from Caruso. And that'll bring up Scott Hurst, who led the ABL during the regular season in batting average. Hit .429. Just graduated from high school. He's going to attend Cal State Fullerton in the fall. Hit .429, a home run, 15 RBIs. Finished the summer on a 4-game hit streak. First pitch is a changeup in there called strike, going 1.
Hurst graduated from Bishop Prep down in Glendora, California.
0-1 from Stubblefield. Chopper foul, third base side over by Mike Grahovic, the third base coach. 0-2 quickly on Hurst. Hurst is 3 for 10 against the Miners this summer. He bats from the left side against the lefty Stubblefield. Tyler looks into the catcher Meyer, kicks and fires the 0-2. Off speed, outside and low, ball 1, 1-2. Cameron Frost, the center fielder, a little bit shaded toward left center. Here's the pitch. Chopper behind the mound, up to Connolly, the second baseman, and throws to first, and a stretch from Decker is in time. Hurst was really hustling down that first base line. I think Decker could hear the footsteps and he had to reach out to get to that ball a little bit quicker. So now there's quickly 2 down for Cody Nulf, the shortstop. Nulf out of Orange Coast College will attend Auburn in the fall. Hit .322 during the regular season with 9 home runs. That was tied for first. First pitch lined over the head of Terrence Connolly into right center for a base hit. And there's that bat speed. Cody Nova, a very, very good hitter. Had a 19-game hit streak going into the 16th of July. That brings up Von Bozoian. Out of Concordia Irvine, finished the regular season at 308, 9 homers, 38 RBIs. Stands very tall on the right side against the lefty Stubblefield. First pitch is a fastball up high at the letters, ball 1.
That's how the Panners score their RBIs. They have a whole lot of RBIs on the season, each player does, and they just, bat in a single, a single, a single. That's how they do it.
1-0. Fastball, twisting foul, right side out of play. 1-1 on Bozoian. Von is 5 for his last 9 with a home run and 6 RBIs. Strikes out quite a bit, but you get that when you have a lot of power. Runner at first. Nulf with 2 steals during the regular season. 1-1. Fastball belt high, but it's ball 2, 2-1. Tanner Pinkston, the first baseman from Cal State Fullerton, he waits on deck. Stubblefield pitching from the stretch with a runner at first. Here's the 2-1. Fastball twisting foul straight back. And it's 2-2. No score in the bottom of the first in Game 1 of the Top of the World Series. The Matsu Miners and the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks here at Mulcahy Field in Anchorage. Runner at first is Cody Nulf. He's singled to right center. Stubblefield looks at first, delivers the 2-2. Fouled off to the right again, out of play. And if that foul ball does damage to your car, visit our friends at the locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. Still 2-2 on Bozoian, the designated hitter. Stubblefield grips the ball in his glove, 2-2. Fastball up high and away, 3-2. Bozoian 3 for 11 against the Miners this summer. A lot of doubles. He had 10. Little waggle of the bat, 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, but Meyer drops the ball and Nulf up to second base, but that is strike 3. Meyer tags Bozoian, and it is no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. The first strikeout for Tyler Stubblefield. We are through 1. No score on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. No score in Anchorage in Game 1 of the Top of the World Series between the Matsu Miners and the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks. I'm Austin Pollock with Emma Tiedemann. Mike Benson back out there for the second inning, set the Miners down 1-2-3. Panachone and Newell both flew out, and Decker struck out. And here is Josh Meyer, the catcher, out of Grand Canyon. A little bit of an open stance, hands above his helmet. First pitch from Benson is a fastball low and away, ball 1. Meyer hit .280 during the regular season. Was 6 for 12 against the Panners. Benson pitching from the stretch, 1-0. Fastball low and away, ball 2. Like I said, Meyer was 6 for 12 against the Panners. 2 of those 6 hits were doubles. Meyer from Mission Viejo, California. 2-0 from Benson. Fastball chopped foul and gets a piece of home plate umpire Tim Davis. Robert Mays is the first base umpire, and Drew Vertez is the third base umpire. During the regular season, they usually go with 2 umpires, but an additional one needed here for the Top of the World Series. Meyer is the batter with a 2-1 count. Mike Grahovic and Ben Taylor out just to the right of the left-hander's batter's box to check on Tim Davis.
Seen quite a few umpires get a little beat up behind the plate this season.
We saw one who actually had to leave the game here in Anchorage. I'm trying to remember when that was.
I want to say it was against the Pilots.
I think you might be right. Tyler Stubblefield was pitching.
It was the rain delay, the one where
Right,
we
with the
delayed
rain.
and then we were delayed in the middle of the game because of the umpire. Yeah.
Yeah. Tyler went 5 innings. I think struck out 9 or 11, something like that. He had a good game. All right, play resumes. The 2-1 count on Meyer. Benson sets. Glove level with his waist. 2-1. Chopped foul over by the Panners' third base dugout. Just a beautiful, beautiful night for a ball game here in Anchorage. Not a cloud in the sky. About 70 degrees. 2-2 on Meyer. Here's the pitch. Line to third and taken on hop by the third baseman, Tyler Mildenberg, and fires across the diamond for the first out.
That was a good reaction by Mildenberg. He just took it right off of that hop and kept an eye on it and was able to also make the throw to first.
That'll bring up the center fielder out of Washington State, Cameron Frost. A little bit of an open stance, bats from the right side against Benson. Now 1 out, first pitch. Fastball on the outside corner for a called strike, and Frost certainly familiar with the Panners. In a game where he hit 2 home runs. That was the first game. That was against Benson. 0-1. Lifted deep to right. Moving over is Jacob Hayes toward foul ground toward the bullpen, but runs out of room. Now 0-2 on Frost. I think one of those home runs was against Benson. The other one was against Jason Valadez, who started that game. Benson came in relief.
The home run against Valadez went across the street on the outside of the left field fence in Fairbanks and into the parking lot of the Fairbanks Curling Club.
I remember that. 0-2 to Frost. Slider outside, ball 1. Frost finished this summer with a .327 batting average. Benson sets, kicks, fires the 1-2. High fly ball to deep right, tailing toward foul ground, and goes foul just to the right of the pole. Had a lot of power behind that, but I think the wind may have helped that a little bit.
Well, and Frost, whenever he gets a piece of it, he gets a big piece of it. So it's 2 powerful foul balls down the third base side. If he could just pull it a little fair, he could really go for those extra bases.
Good gap in left center. The Panners' defensive alignment in the outfield's a little strange. 1-2, slices it foul over by the Miners' first base dugout. The left fielder Caruso is playing in left center and playing deep, probably about 10 steps in front of the warning track, and the center fielder Hurst is basically in right center and a little bit shallow, and Hayes is pulled toward that foul line and right. 1-2 to Frost. Lined up the middle, a base hit. Frost with a wide turn at first, but he goes back, and it's a one-out single for Cameron Frost. Hit that ball very hard up the middle. That brings up Johnny Loker, the left fielder out of Stanford. Loker's hitting 6 of his last 7 games. Gets the signs from Ben Taylor coaching third base. Cameron Frost with a big lead at first, being held on by the first baseman Pinkston. Johnny pinwheels the bat. Open stance. Benson looks at first. First pitch. Fastball a little bit low, but called a strike. 0-1 on Loker. Johnny finished the regular season at .358, 3 homers, 10 RBIs. Johnny points the bat. Frost stole 4 bases during the regular season. Benson sets 0-1. Fastball, a little bit too far outside, ball 1. Johnny was 1 for 17 for Stanford this past season. Appeared in 39 games. Points the bat. That back foot on the line of the batter's box. Frost at first. 1-1. Fastball about letter high. 2-1. Johnny 5 for 14 with a double against the Panthers this summer. Center fielder Hurst a little shallow. Benson sets. Takes his time. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Chased a high fastball. 2-2. Johnny from just around the Seattle area. Got to meet his parents a couple weeks ago. Frost still at first with 1 out, no score in the top of the second. Benson sets. Here's the pitch. Inside. Now full count on Loker. Like a changeup from Benson that missed too far in.
Seen Loker become a lot more patient lately in the past, I'd say about 2 weeks. A lot more patient at the plate. We saw him go through a stretch of hitting a lot of deep balls to swinging a whole lot at the first pitch to now being a lot more patient now at the full count.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Second strikeout for Mike Benson. There's 2 down. Johnny chased a high fastball. That'll bring up Terrence Connolly, the second baseman out of UNC Wilmington. Bats from the left side against the righty Benson. Those high green socks. White spikes with the open stance. Frost still on first. Here's the first pitch. Fastball, up and away, ball 1. And the left fielder Caruso still in just about left center. Good gap in left for Terrence to go opposite field. Doesn't do it that much. 1-0. Fastball inside, call the strike, 1-1. Terrence 4 for 8 against the Panthers this summer. Hit .276 during the regular season. 0 for 3 in Game 1 of the doubleheader on Sunday. Benson with a check on Frost. He is back. Frost has been caught 4 times. Connolly points the bat, rests it on his left shoulder. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Terrence chased a very high fastball from Benson.
Miners batters seem to be going for those fastballs against Benson.
Seem to be missing a little late. Terrence points the bat toward the pitcher Benson. Runner at first is Frost with 2 outs. Benson sets, takes a deep breath. Frost is off. 1-2, slapped left side, foul out of play over by the Panthers bullpen. It's still 1-2. Frost heads back to first.
Frost had a very, very good jump on that one. Be interesting to see if he tries to steal again.
Shortstop Cody Nelf playing closer to the second base bag. Same with the second baseman Hunter Villanueva. 1-2. Benson sets. Takes a deep breath again. Here's the 1-2. Inside. 2-2.
Conley, another batter that can really work a good at bat, get that full count or that 2-2 count like he has now, and really make that pitcher work, waiting for his pitch.
Terrence is a patient hitter, though. He tied the team lead with 19 walks. Benson sets. Check on Frost at first. He is back. Still 2-2. Sean Winston coaching first base. Ben Taylor coaching third. Caruso still in just about left center. About straight up. Same with Hurst in center behind the dirt patch. 2-2. Called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Mike Benson. That's his third. And it's no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. We are through 1.5. No score. We head to the bottom of the second on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Miners leave a runner on and don't score anything. It's still a tie game. No runs apiece. Banners coming up in the bottom of the second against the lefty Tyler Stubblefield. Gave up 1 hit. That was to Cody Nulf in the bottom of the first. Now he faces Tanner Pinkston, Jacob Hayes, and Eric Hutting. Pinkston bats from the left side. First pitch is a fastball in the inner half for a called strike. Pinkston very tall. About 6'5", 0-1. Change up on the outside corner for a called strike, and it's quickly 0-2 on Pinkston out of Cal State Fullerton. Hit .307, 4 home runs, 31 RBIs. 6 for 14 against the Miners. 0-2. Low and gets to the backstop. That was a fastball from Stubblefield, and it's 1-2. No runs, 1 hit apiece. Nulf for the Panners, Frost for the Miners. Now Frost is playing in deep left center, maybe about 6 or 7 steps off that second base bag. 1-2. Chopper behind the mound. Connolly gives chase, but it's under his dive and into center for a base hit. Second hit for the Panners. It's Tanner Pinkston. And here comes Jacob Hayes. He does bat 6, but there is a lot of red here on the scorebook. Second in batting average at .378, and first in many, many other offensive categories. He bats from the left side now with the runner on first and nobody out. First pitch. Off speed on the outer half. Too far outside, ball 1. Hayes hit 9 home runs and had 42 RBIs. Finished the summer on a 6-game hit streak. Quick throw back to first, but Pinkston's back. Hayes was first in hits with 51, first in RBIs with 42. Had a .696 slugging percentage. 1-0. Chopper, left side, Panachone takes it, scoops it to second for 1, on to first. Not in time. Hayes beats it out. Throw was high from Connolly. So they do get the lead runner in Pinkston. He's the first out, and Hayes is at first. He reaches on the fielder's choice. And here is Eric Hutting, the catcher. Hutting out of Long Beach State. Finished the regular season on a 3-game hit streak. He hit .310 with 4 home runs. started 42 of 46 games for Long Beach State. First pitch to him is a fastball, a little bit too low, ball one. He hit 241. Also recruited by Oregon, UC Irvine, and Cam Newell's school, UCSB. Bats from the right side. Check on Hayes. He's back. Hayes stole 8 bases. Big lead off first. 1-0 count. Pitch is a fastball. Jolted foul, right side out of play. 1-1. Hayes has a big lead at first. That was a big lead. He's standing on the base right now. Tyler Stubblefield toes the rubber, glove over his face. Decker in a little bit of a crouch at first base. Here's the pitch. It's up high. 2-1.
Looks like Hayes has just about the same amount of lead off of first as, say, like Cameron Frost would.
That's a big lead. 2-1. Fastball lifted foul, right side. Decker gives chase toward the stands, but it's out of play. And it's 2-2, 1 out. No score in the bottom of the second. These are 9-inning games, unlike the last 2 for the Miners. Those were both 7. Part of a doubleheader. 2-2 on Hutting. Stubblefield looks at first base, sets, delivers the 2-2. High fly ball, deep left center. Frost going back, Loker going back, and Johnny makes the catch on the run in front of the track. Wow, that one looked a lot deeper than it was.
Yeah, that one looked like it had the height and the speed to get out of here, but yeah, Loker caught it before the warning track, so it just came off his back and his bat, and it looked like it was going to go out of here, but it just didn't have enough behind it. Though that wasn't even the fault of the wind. It just kind of seemed to just die out there.
I think it did. It's 4-10 out to straightaway center.
See, that would have been gone at Ground and Memorial Park in Fairbanks.
No question.
That would have been in the Curling Center's parking lot.
No question. Here's Hunter Villanueva, the second baseman. Hayes with still a big lead at first. Here's the first pitch. It's a fastball low and in ball 1. Villanueva out of Fresno Pacific. Hit 275, 2 homers, 16 RBIs. That's from the right side. Knees bent a little bit. 1-0. Slapped foul above the Miners dugout on the first base side. 1-1 on Villanueva. Hunter 3 for his last 7. Pinkston started the inning. He singled. Hayes reached on the fielder's choice. Stubblefield with a check on Hayes. He is back. Pinkston was retired at second base when Hayes reached on the fielder's choice, and then Hutting just flew out to left center to the left fielder, Johnny Loker. 1-1 pitch. Fastball, check swing, but he went around for sure, 1-2. You know, one of the problems with bat speed is you think you want to swing, and when you go for it too hard, you try to check your swing, and there's no question, you go around.
You have a lot of momentum behind you when you swing that fast.
1-2, runner at first is off. Pitch outside, throw from Meyer, catch by Panachone, the tag. They got him! Josh Meyer, Paul Panachone, teammates at Grand Canyon. I think they do that so many times. They gun down Jacob Hayes. That is out number 3, and it is no runs on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on, still no score. We're through 2 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Top of the third, and we are scoreless through 2. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock here in Game 1 of the Top of the World Series between the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks and the Matsu Miners. We will see 8, 9, and 1 here in the top of the third with Mitchell now at the plate. First pitch by Benson is in there, called strike 1, caught the outside part of the plate. Now finished with a .230 average, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs, 1 double. 0-1 pitch, ground ball past the diving glove of Mildenberg, the third baseman, into left field, and that is a lead-off single for the Miners.
You know, it's so important for Mitchell now just to keep up that confidence. 2 home runs, and that's a confidence boost right there, and also having a single to start the inning, that just adds to that. So he's got to be feeling pretty good about himself.
Miners really capitalize on the lead-off batter reaching base, and that is the first lead-off runner on the base pass for the Miners here in the top of the third with Jordan Rogers at the plate. First pitch by Benson shows bunt, slow roller to the right of the mound. Benson picks it up and throws to first for the out, but Mitchell now moves to second. And Jordan Rogers is first out.
You know, that's all he has to do. I mean, you do take the bat out of Jordan Rogers' hand, but in a game like this where it's the World Series and you got to get that Game 1 win and just get a lead in the series, you just do what you can to move base runners, and the Miners do that very well.
Back to the top of the order with Paul Panachone, the shortstop. First pitch fastball right over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Panachone 0 for 1 with a fly out to left field in the first inning. Benson sets and looks into his pitcher Hutting. Has the sign. Quick glance at second base to Mitchell now. And delivers the 0-1. Ground ball to the shortstop. Nolf catches it on the backhand, but can't throw it in time. And now 2 base runners on for the Miners.
You know, I think Nolf wanted to I think he was waiting to see what Mitchell now was going to do. I mean, there wasn't a force. He didn't have to go to third, but in a game where the Miners are showing small ball early, you have to wonder, are they going to send him? I mean, what do I do here? So I think, and Panachone runs well, so I think that's part of it too.
And that brings up Cameron Newell, the right fielder, 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field in the first inning. Newell out of UC Santa Barbara. Stands on the left side of the plate, waves the bat. Benson with a deep breath delivers the first pitch, and they're called strike 1. Newell finished with 7 home runs, 38 RBIs, and 8 doubles. Average of .353. He had the day off 2 days ago against the Bucks. 0-1 count now for Newell. 2 runners on, still scoreless. Now and Panachone with leads off their bases. 0-1 pitch inside, but called strike 2. Newell now down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes, but Newell, another one of those Miners batters that can, be patient, work that count full. We saw him down in the count 0-2, then work a count full 3-2, and then hit a grand slam off of it.
That's what he does.
So Newell it doesn't really seem to phase him. The count doesn't get him down. He just steps back into the batter's box and waits for that pitch. Benson with a close eye on Mitchell now in second. And delivers the 0-2. Swung on and foul just to our left. Stays alive with the 0-2 count.
Cody Nelf, the shortstop, really dancing to our left of the second base bag, moving toward the bag, then off the bag, toward the bag, off the bag. Keeping an eye on Mitchell now and wondering whether Benson's going to make a throw back.
That throw back to second base, though, is very dangerous. We've seen quite a few errors come off of that in situations like that earlier in the season. 0-2 pitch is lifted fouled on the third base side. Newell still with the 0-2 count. Mitchell now single to start off the inning. Rogers moved him to second off of a bunt, and then Panachone also with a single. And Newell at the plate. So now on second, Panachone at first. First baseman Pinkston playing behind Panachone. Nolf steps back, but Benson delivers the 0-2, and it is lined into center field and caught by Scott Hurst. That is the second out.
Newell hit that very hard, but hit right to dead center. So Had he have hit that to a gap, certainly extra bases and certainly at least one run in.
And that brings up Matthew Decker, the first baseman. Decker 0 for 1, struck out swinging in the first inning. Takes his usual deep breath before stepping into the batter's box. Waves the bat over the plate, looking at the pitcher Benson. 2 runners on. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Mitchell now on second. Paul Panachone at first, and 2 away here in the top of the third. Still no score between the Panners and the Miners. 2 very, very talented teams.
Decker with a lot of upper body strength, and I had said to him before batting practice, if I was a fielder, I would be afraid if you were at the plate.
0-1 is just outside for ball 1.
He was hitting the ball very, very hard. He does that really all summer, and has done that all summer, but he hits the ball just so hard to all parts of the field, especially the infield. And his batting stance and his swing, very routine. Not a lot of movement, very still.
1-1 pitch is high and outside for ball 2. Decker has 2 home runs, 18 RBIs, and 6 doubles, hitting .267.
You know, I like to maybe compare it to like a frame by frame. It's just step, move your hips, swing, run. That's what he does. There's no movement, or it's very straight through.
Benson keeping an eye on now at second. Delivers the 2-1, is fouled on the first base side. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away in the top of the third.
Decker hit a walk-off single just the other night. I think that was that Saturday night against the Chinooks?
Yes. I want to say yes.
I don't remember if it was Friday or I think it was Saturday. That was a single.
2-2 is high and outside for ball 3. Decker now with the 3-2 count. Benson with the sign from his catcher Hudding. Delivers the 3-2. Runners are off and it's fouled back. Decker remains with the 3-2 count.
Decker also a patient hitter. He will work for that pitch that he wants. He'll foul pitches off. He doesn't care. He's going to stand in there as long as he can until he gets that pitch. It's what a good hitter does, too.
Runners with leads off their bases. 3-2 pitch. High ball 4, and that loads the bases. Now moves to third base. Panachone to second. Decker heads down the first base path to first base, and that brings up Josh Meyer. And Eric Cutting, the catcher for the Panners, is heading out to the mound to talk things over with his pitcher, Mike Benson. So the bases are full of Miners here in the top of the third and still scoreless. Josh Meyer at the plate with 2 outs. Meyer catching tonight for Tyler Stubblefield. Meyer's hitting .280 with 1 home run, 8 RBIs, 8 doubles, and 2 triples. Steps in, very open stance. Waves the bat over the plate and holds it above his head. His hands are right about at where his forehead is. First pitch is high and away for ball 1.
Not to really go off topic, but did you tell me that Vince Scully is returning for another season?
His 66th season.
That's more reasons why I want to be like him.
He's a boss.
I like him.
Benson sets and delivers the 1-0. Lifted foul and evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. He's a legend.
Oh, that's a perfect word to describe him. Just, been around the game so long, he has so many stories. Good dead air filler.
Meyer sets for the 1-1 pitch by Benson. Looks at second and delivers the pitch. Swung on, ground ball to the left of the mound. Charging is Knoll, flips to second base to to get out. Decker running to a second with a putout, and that ends the inning. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 left on. As we head to the bottom of the third, we are still scoreless. You are listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Hunter Villanueva set to start things off in the bottom of the third. Still a 0-run ball game here at Mulcahy. First pitch by Tyler Stubblefield, high and outside, ball 1. Villanueva out of Fresno Pacific University, just finished his freshman year. 1-0, called strike in the inside part of the plate. Hometown is Bakersfield, California. Bats on the right side of the plate. Now with the 1-1 count, Stubblefield delivers, and it is lined into right field. That gets down for a base hit. Newell picks it up, and Villanueva with a lead-off single.
Third hit for the Panners. Both teams with 3 hits.
That brings up Tyler Mildenberg, the third baseman. Mildenberg, a freshman out of Oregon State University. That's on the left side of the plate. Throws on with his right hand, though. Hometown is Huntington Beach, California. First pitch, shows bunt, right back to the pitcher, Stubblefield. Bobbles it, throws to first, and is able to get Mildenberg out, and Villanueva moves to second.
You know, and I was watching Stubblefield very carefully, and we've talked about how pitchers fielding the ball doesn't always go so well when they throw to second base, but we've seen Stubblefield do that when the opponent has dropped down a bunt. He's not afraid to make that throw, but that bobble, there was a little bit of a bobble, and I think that led him then to throw to first.
And that brings us back to the top of the order with Brandon Caruso. 0 for 1. He grounded out to the first baseman, Matthew Decker, in the first inning. Bat's on the right side of the plate. Waves the bat over home plate. Stubblefield with the first pitch is inside, called strike 1 with a fastball. Villanueva with quite the lead off at second base. Caruso has 1 home run and 12 RBIs on the season with 6 doubles and 3 triples.
Caruso's friends with Johnny Reed.
0-1 pitch, outside for ball 1.
Friends from Pepperdine. I think it's in Malibu, California. Not sure.
1 ball and 1 strike to Caruso. Stubblefield glances at second base and delivers the 1-1. Breaking ball inside, strike 2.
Now Meyer headed out to talk with Stubblefield. If they get this out, it's a very important second out, and they want to make sure they get that out, so they want to make sure they're on the same page and just go over everything. these two have gotten to become very, very close, not just on the diamond, but off the field as well.
They're always hanging around with each other at the field, and their personalities really mesh well.
Oh, yeah.
Stubblefield looks into Meyer, has the sign. Quick glance at second to Villanueva. 1-2 pitch. High and inside, a little too high, I guess, for Tim Davis, the home plate umpire. That's ball 2, and Meyer caught the ball and just kind of held it there, but Davis decided it was still a ball, so now 2-2 count now for Caruso. 2-2 is lifted foul behind us. Stays alive with the 2-2 count.
That just went into a apartment complex parking lot behind Mulcahy Field, bounced and hit off a license plate.
Oof. Pitch by Stubblefield is high and away for ball 3. Well, in that apartment complex behind us here in Anchorage, there were kids with an inflatable pool.
Well, it's still out there.
And they were literally playing in it at 70 degrees.
There's a kid sitting in it right now.
It's a little chilly to go swimming for me, but I guess not for Alaskans. This is perfect weather. 3-2 pitch. Another foul ball down the first base side.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Still no score between these two teams in the bottom of the 3rd.
Villanueva with the lead off a second. 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball. High ball 4. That is the first walk for Stubblefield. And the second base runner for the Panners. Now, Paul Panachone, the shortstop, is coming out to chat things over with Stubblefield. At the plate is Scott Hurst, the high school senior. Well, he just graduated high school, so now college freshman.
I wonder what that's like for him. I mean, he comes and plays in this league, probably the 2nd or 3rd best summer collegiate league in the country, and he's facing Tyler Stubblefield.
First pitch inside, called strike 1.
And Stubblefield on June 1st pitched 9 complete innings. 134 pitches against the Texas Longhorns in the regionals.
0-1 pitch by Stubblefield is lifted deep into right center field. Going back for it is Frost. And it is at the wall. Frost in the running track throws it in. And Villanueva rounds third and heads home. Caruso holds up at third, and it is an RBI double for Scott Hurst.
Panners on the board, 1-0 in the bottom of the 3rd.
Caruso now at third base, Hurst on second, and now Cody Nolf at the plate, and Scott Myers chatting with Stubblefield on the mound. Panners score first with the 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 3rd. And 1 out with runners on 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, Myers has to calm him down and just make sure he stays dialed in because this is the tough part of the Panners lineup.
Cody Nolf, the shortstop, about to step up to the plate. He singled in the 1st inning. Singled into right center field. Has 38 RBIs and 10 doubles. 1 triple. Stubblefield sets and delivers the first pitch. Is inside, ball 1. Caruso at third, Hurst at second. One-zero pitch by Stubblefield is high and away for ball 2. Nolf, a sophomore out of Orange Coast College. 2-0 pitch. Back to Stubblefield. Stubblefield thinks about throwing it to third, but instead throws it to first. Caruso stays at third, and Nolf is out 1-3.
That's a big out right there, and Stubblefield sort of gave a look to third, like, where are you going? And then he sees him, and he's not going anywhere, and he throws to first. So a heads-up play right there by Stubblefield.
Brings up Vaughn Bazoian, struck out swinging in the 1st inning after working the count full. 2 away here in the bottom of the bottom of the third. 1 run has scored. That was Hunter Villanueva, batted in on an RBI double by Scott Hurst. Bazoian at the plate. First pitch is high and away for ball 1. Bazoian hit .308 with 9 home runs, 38 RBIs, and 10 doubles. Powerful hitter.
He was in the home run derby.
1-0 pitch. Fastball right over the plate, called strike 1. Bazoian is a sophomore out of Concordia University, Irvine. Will sit at 6'5", 210 pounds, from Chino Hills, California. Big guy, very, very tall. Bazoian, the designated hitter tonight. Stubblefield with the 1-1 pitch. And it is a ground ball down the third base side. Foul. So Bazoian heads back to the plate with the 1-2 count.
I think Stubblefield's fortunate that he's lucky that one went foul, because I think Bazoian probably would have beaten it out. And a run probably would have scored.
Bazoian has as he was coming back to the plate from first base, it's a nice mustache.
I saw that. I had noticed that during the home run derby.
A lot of the guys come up here, and I guess it's the Alaska wilderness, just something about it. They grow all this facial hair. 1-2, line down the third base side. That is fair, and it just went past a diving glove of Jordan Rogers, and Caruso scores along with Hurst, and it's a 2-run double by Bazoian, making it a 3-0 ball game here in the bottom of the third. That is the second double of the game and second double of the inning and third hit of the inning as well for the Panners.
Yeah, just past the dive of Rogers and couldn't have hit that ball in a better spot. And that's when you hit it right there, that's with runners on second and third, that's guaranteed. Those guys are in.
That brings up Tanner Pinkston, the sophomore out of Cal State Fullerton. Bats left, throws right, stands on the left side of the plate. Had a single in the second, but was thrown out at second base with the fielder's choice. Pinkston has 4 home runs and 31 RBIs, along with 7 doubles and 1 triple, hitting .307. First pitch by the lefties, lined into right field. Newell charging, and Bazoian rounds third and heads home. The throw in, no good, but Meyer throws to second. And Pinkston is safe. So Bazoian scores to make it a 4-0 ball game, and Pinkston has the RBI double. That brings up Jacob Hayes, and Brad Baker, the pitching coach, is heading out to the mound to talk with Tyler Stubblefield. Villanueva started the inning, had a single. Mildenberg grounded out to Stubblefield and moved Villanueva to second base. Caruso walked. Then Hurst had an RBI double, scoring in Villanueva and Caruso. Then Cody Knoll grounded out to Stubblefield as well for the second out. And Bazoian had a 2-run RBI double. And then Pinkston stepped up and batted in Bazoian and is now at second base with Jacob Hayes, the right fielder, at the plate. So 2 outs. Panners lead the Miners 4-0. Stubblefield sets. Lefty versus lefty. First pitch, fastball blown away, ball 1. Hayes, a redshirt junior out of Indiana State University. Bats left but throws right. 1-0 pitch by Stubblefield is low for ball 2. Pinkston with quite a lead off of second base. Hayes reached on a fielder's choice in the second, then was caught stealing. 2-0, low, ball 3. Hayes also has 9 home runs and 42 RBIs on the season, with 8 doubles and 4 triples. 3-0 by Stubblefield is in there, called strike one. That one caught the outside part of the plate, kind of that lone away corner of the strike zone. Three-one pitch by Stubblefield. Lined and off the glove of the leaping shortstop Panachone. Pinkston scores the 5th run of the game, and Hayes with the RBI single. So now the Panners lead 5-0 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Brings up the catcher, Eric Hutting. Hutting 0 for 1, flew out in the second inning to left field.
A lot of this damage coming with 2 outs. The Bazoian double, the Pinkston single, the Hayes single.
First pitch to Hutting is in there, called strike one. Hutting, a sophomore out of Long Beach State University from Rancho Santa Margarita, California. 0-1. Swung on and lined into left field in between Rogers and Panachone. Hayes decides to hold up at second, and Hutting with the single. And now we have officially batted around the order now, and back up to the plate is Villanueva. Villanueva singled earlier in this inning, his first at bat in the third. Villanueva, a freshman out of Fresno Pacific. First pitch by Stubblefield is high and away for ball one. Panners lead the Miners 5-0. Hayes at second base, Hutting at first. There are 2 outs, and we've batted around with Villanueva at the plate. Stubblefield sets. Quick look at second. 1-0. Fastball a little high for ball two.
I think the issue here for Stubblefield is command. And then, of course, not a lot of 0-2 counts. He hasn't had 2 strikes on a batter since Bazoian.
Stubblefield steps off, kind of thinking about throwing it to second base. Hayes has a very, very large lead off of second. Panachone, the shortstop, playing behind him. Stubblefield looks to his catcher, Meyer, and delivers the 2-0. Fastball, swing and a miss. Throw down to second by Meyer, but it's past the glove of Panachone into center field. Hayes rounds thirds and heads home. And now it is a 6-0 ball game, and Hutting moved to second on the error. So Stubblefield pitched through the pitch, and Villanueva swung and missed, and Meyer threw it to second to catch Hayes off. Hayes off the bag, but Panachone wasn't able to reach the ball. The throw down by Meyer, and so the ball went into center field. Hayes took advantage of that and scored the 6th run of the game, and Hutting moved to second. So now it is 6-0 with Hutting at second. 2-1 pitch to Villanueva is high and outside for ball 3. Three-one pitch by Stubblefield is inside, called strike 2. So now full count for Villanueva with 2 outs and 1 runner on. Three-two count. Pitch by Stubblefield is lined over the glove of Matthew Decker, the first baseman, and that is fair down the first base side. Hutting scores, and Villanueva slides into second base with the RBI double. Now a 7-0 ball game, and the entire infield comes to the mound, including Ben Taylor. And we might have a pitching change here in the bottom of the third. The only 2 batters that have not scored so far in this third inning are the 2 outs. That was Mildenberg and Nolf, who both grounded out to Stubblefield, and we do have a new pitcher. We will step aside to bring you everything you need to know right after this. Back here in the bottom of the third inning, the Panners lead the Miners 7-0, and the new pitcher on the mound is John Reed. Reed has appeared in 9 games through 13 and 2/3 innings pitched, has given up 15 hits, 13 runs, all of those earned, has walked 7, struck out 16 with the 0-1 record. Faces Mildenberg, the third baseman, 0 for 1 with a ground out in the first part of this third inning. Lefty versus lefty. Reed looks in and delivers the first pitch, is low and inside for ball 1. Villanueva reached on an RBI double, is on second. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. 1-0 pitch by Reed. Fastball inside. Ball 2. Outfield playing straight away for Mildenberg. Panachone and Conley, the shortstop and second baseman, keeping an eye on Villanueva at second. Reed delivers 2-0. Line to the shortstop. Panachone scoops it up. Throw to first. And that ends the inning. But 7-run score on 7 hits. And 1 left on base. So it's a 7-0 ball game as we head to the top of the 4th. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Top of the fourth, and the Miners trail the Panners 7-0. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock for game one of the Top of the World Series. Cameron Frost leading things off here on the top of the fourth. First pitch fastball by Mike Benson, the pitcher for the Panners. Frost 1 for 1 with a single in the second inning out of Washington State. 1-0 pitch by Benson is outside, but called strike one. Frost with a .327 average, 5 home runs, 25 RBIs, 12 doubles, and 7 triples. 1-1 pitch. Lined in a right field. Charging is Hayes, the right fielder, and makes the catch for first out. That brings up Johnny Loker, the left fielder. 0 for 1, struck out swinging in the second inning after working the count full. Loker out of Stanford University has a .358 average with 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, and 9 doubles. First pitch by Benson outside, but called strike one.
You know, the Miners just need some sort of a rally. They don't have to do what the Panners did and score 7 runs in one inning. They like to break it up. 2 runs here, 3 runs here, 1 run there, 1 run there.
0-1 pitch. Foul behind us for strike two.
That is currently crossing the street and into the parking lot, and it's under a red car and now rolling back into the middle of the street. And it's just sitting in the middle of the street.
Benson looks into his catcher Hutting for the sign and delivers the 0-2 outside and high for ball one.
I'm waiting for someone to drive by and get that ball. Well, somebody's coming out of their apartment to get it now.
One-two pitch to Loker is lifted high and foul, but the third baseman Mildenberg charging and makes the catch for out 2. So quickly 2 away here on the top of the fourth. And Benson has only thrown 5 pitches to the 2 batters, Frost and Loker so far, and Terrence Conley heading to the plate. Conley, the lefty out of UNC Wilmington, struck out looking in the second inning. First pitch by Benson is outside for ball one. Conley with 12 RBIs and 4 doubles, hitting .276. But really knows how to move those runners when there are base runners on, knows how to get on base. Patient batter also. 1-0 is ground ball to the shortstop, Nolf. Long throw to first and gets him in time. And is a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. As we head to the bottom of the fourth, the Panners lead the Miners 7-0. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Bottom of the fourth inning, and the Miners trail the Panners 7-0. Brandon Caruso at the plate for the Panners. First pitch by the lefty, Johnny Reed, is high for ball one. Caruso, a freshman out of Pepperdine. Hometown is Pasadena, California, as he fouls the second pitch back for strike one. Caruso grounded out in the first inning and then was walked in the third by Tyler Stubblefield after working the count full and scored a run. 1-1 pitch by Reed is lined in left field. Loker takes it on a bounce, and it is a lead-off single for the Goldpanners.
And that's the 10th hit for Fairbanks in this game.
And the last time they had a lead-off base runner was the third inning when the Panners scored 7 runs. That brings up Scott Hurst. 1 for 2, grounded out in the first inning, then had an RBI double in the third. Runner goes, and it's fouled back for strike one. Hurst just graduated high school. Bats on the left side. Hometown is Glendora, California. Hurst finished the regular season hitting .429, 1 home run, 15 RBIs, and 4 doubles. Reed looks into his catcher, Meyer, and delivers the 0-1. Breaking ball, called strike 2.
Good pitch from Reed, and I mean, you mentioned that .429 average for Hurst. That was first in the ABL. This kid can hit. He's young, but he can hit.
0-2 pitch, fastball, and it is lifted foul out of play. Stays alive with the 0-2 count. No balls, 2 strikes, and nobody out. Here in the bottom of the fourth, the Panners lead 7-0 with Brandon Caruso at first base. Reed sets. Throw to first, and Caruso slides in and is safe.
There's that benefit of the lefty on the mound with runners at first. They have a good look at him. I say it every time.
0-2 pitch by Reed. Slow roller back to the mound. Reed throws to second for the first out, and the throw to first. He's out. So Reed threw it to Panachone, the shortstop covering second base, and Panachone chucked it to first. And that's quickly 2 away, and what a play by the Miners infielders. Preventing those runners, and now there are no base runners on the path for the Panners. And Cody Nolf, the shortstop, at the plate.
You know, that's big right there, and I always say when a pitcher fields a ball off the mound and throws to second, I always fear that it's going to be a wild throw and into center, but good job by Reed. Just stayed calm and just focused on making a good throw.
First pitch to Nolf. Little inside for ball 1. Nolf 1 for 2. Had a single in the first inning and grounded out in the third. 1-0 pitch by Reed is lined into left field. And that gets down right before the warning track, right on the third base line. Nolf rounds first and heads into second with the lead, the 2-out double. And just like that, the Panners have base runners on the paths yet again.
Second hit for Cody Nolf. He singled in the first.
That brings up Vaughn Bazoian. 1 for 2, struck out swinging in the first inning after working the count full. Then had a 2-run double in the third. And scored a run. Reed sets and delivers the first pitch. Is inside for ball 1. And we were talking about this in the pregame show that Groudon Memorial Park in Fairbanks is smaller, so that's why they might have a few more home runs, but this is still a very talented hitting team, and these batting averages, they don't lie. Only two batters in this lineup for the Panners are batting under 300. A very, very talented team, and you are seeing that now. The Panners have 7 runs on 11 hits.
And all of them have recorded a hit except for Tyler Mildenberg.
2-0 count for Bazoian. 3-0 now as Reed pitches it outside, and Meyer, the catcher, thought about throwing it down to second base to catch Nolf off the bag, but decided not to, and now there's a 3-0 count for the designated hitter, Bazoian. .30 pitch by Johnny Reed is in there, called strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs. Cody Nolf at second. Reed keeping a close eye on Nolf as the lead off of the second base bag. 2-1 pitch is lifted high into foul territory down the first base side, but the first baseman Matthew Decker is under it and makes the catch for the third out. So no run score on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. As we head to the top of the 5th, the Miners trail the Panners 7-0. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Mitchell now, tonight's designated hitter out of Texas A&M, leads off the 5th against Mike Benson. The Panners lead the Miners 7-0 as we start the 5th. Mitchell stands in on the right side against the righty, and the first pitch is a fastball out of the reach of Eric Cutting, the catcher, goes all the way to the backstop for ball 1. Mitchell singled in the 3rd inning. A little bit of an open stance, stands at 5'11". Benson sets, pitching from the stretch, 1-0 pitch to Mitchell. Chopped foul, third base side over by Ben Taylor, coaching third base. Benson's been pretty strong in his 4 innings. Hasn't given up any runs, only 3 hits. Mitchell taps the plate, spins the bat. Open stance, Benson sets, 1-1. Inside with a fastball, 2-1. Mitchell had 2 home runs on Sunday against the Bucks. Benson sets, 2-1. Fastball up high, letter high, 3-1. Mitchell swung at the second pitch on a single in the 3rd inning. He was stranded at 3rd. Benson sets, 3-1 pitch. High fly ball to deep right. Going back is Hayes at the track. And it's off the wall. Mitchell rounds first, heads into second, but it's a wide turn at first, and he is back on an excellent throw in from Jacob Hayes. Mitchell not with a lot of speed, and I think if it was somebody else with a little bit more speed, that would have been maybe an easy double, but Mitchell not a lot of speed.
No, and that's a good decision to hold up. I think instead of going for those extra bases and having those close calls, they just need to put base runners on.
Here is Jordan Rogers, the third baseman, had a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd. He moved Mitchell to 2nd. Pinkston holding Mitchell on at first. First pitch is a fastball, a little bit low and away, ball 1. Jordan out of Tennessee. 2-sport athlete in high school, also played football. He was a quarterback. Benson sets, 1-0 to Rogers. Chopped foul at home plate and trickles off of his body. 1-1 on Rogers.
Matthew Decker, the first baseman, always takes a deep breath before going into the batter's box, but Jordan always kind of takes a stutter step and then swings. Have you noticed that?
A little bit, yeah. A lot of players have their own little thing. 1-1. Off speed, left up a little high, letter high, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike. 7-0 Panners in the top of the 5th. Game 1 of the top of the World Series. Lights not on here in Anchorage, not necessary right now. Clouds moving over the playing field. 2-1. High fly ball to deep left. Going back is Brandon Caruso, and that one is off the wall. Mitchell now heads into third. Rogers up to second. And that's a double for Jordan Rogers. Now runners in scoring position with nobody out in the top of the fifth. That's the second ball hit very hard. And that one, again, just off the wall and almost got out of here.
Yeah, and that couldn't have come at a better time. And we've seen Rogers time and time again, when there are base runners on, he knows, this is the time he needs to step up and needs to make this hit. And he does that. He gets those RBIs. He moves those base runners. And now back to the top of the order, it's just great timing.
Here is Paul Panachone, the shortstop from Grand Canyon. Singled in the third, flew out to left in the first. Eric cutting back to his spot behind home plate after talking with Benson. Benson sets, looks at third. First pitch to Panachone. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Panachone chased an outside slider. Rogers at second. Mitchell now at third. Nobody out in a 7-0 lead for the Panners. Benson sets. Looks at third. Delivers the 0-1. Inside. Almost got Panachone. Ball 1-1. That was a fastball. Almost got him right on that left bicep. One and one, nobody out. Panachone, a little bit of a waggle of the bat. 1-1. Swing and a miss again. That was a fastball. 1-2. Cam Newell on deck. Words of encouragement from Ben Taylor in the third base coaching box. Benson sets. Takes a deep breath, looks at third. 1-2 pitch. Fastball called, strike three. Fourth strikeout for Mike Benson. Panachone goes down looking, and there's one out.
Now that number 14, Cam Newell.
That brings up Cam Newell, the right fielder, 0 for 2. A fly out to right and a fly out to center. That's from the left side against the righty Benson. Newell stepped out, now steps back in. Points the bat. Rests on his left shoulder. Benson looks at third. First pitch. Swing and a high fly ball to shallow center just behind the second base bag. And that is Cody Nelf who takes it in for out number 2. First pitch swinging for Cam Newell. And now there's quickly 2 down and Matthew Decker coming to the plate.
Now that number 28, Matt Decker.
Decker pretty good with runners in scoring position. First 2 batters of the inning reach. Now and Rogers. They're both in scoring position. Panachone struck out. Newell just popped out. Decker with the high sock stands in, points the bat. Points it again. Benson sets. First pitch to Decker. Fastball outer half. Fake called strike. Going 1. Decker doesn't like the call from home plate umpire Tim Davis. Josh Meyer waits on deck. Has the knee and leg pads on. 0-1 on Decker. Benson sets. Pitch. Fastball too far outside. Ball 1-1. Miners had the bases loaded in the top of the third. With 2 outs. Could not score. 1-1 pitch. Fastball. A little high, but called a strike. 1-2 on Decker. Decker with that deep breath taps the plate and points the bat once. Points it again. And again. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Fastball too far outside. Ball 2. Big gap in left center for Decker to do some damage and get those 2 runs in. 2-2. Benson looks at third. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside. Ball 3, a full count, and we know this. Decker will work a full count. Worked 1 full in the third inning. He then walked. He was actually down 2 strikes. Worked that walk. Benson sets. 3-2 pitch. Just a little high and outside, ball 4. There it is. Decker, just such a patient hitter. And Josh Meyer takes those knee and leg pads off and making his way to the plate. Meyer out of Grand Canyon, ground into a fielder's choice in the third, grounded out to third in the second. Josh Meyer the Miner, as Emma likes to call him. 7-0 Panners. Top of the 5th. Benson sets with the bases loaded. First pitch. Check swing. It's a strike, going 1.
Meyer was in this position in the last time at bat in the 3rd inning and grounded out to a fielder's choice to end the inning.
0-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Meyer really aiming for the fences there. Wanted to make this a 3-run game.
Meyer's 1 home run on the season came here at Mulcahy over the left field fence against the Bucks.
Taps the plate, points the bat. Points it again. Has an 0-2 count with 2 outs. Benson sets. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. 5th strikeout for Mike Benson. He gets out of a big jam. It's still a 7-0 Panners lead. We are through 4.5. We head to the bottom of the 5th. It is no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 men left on. We'll be right back on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Josh Meyer strikes out with the bases loaded. Still a 7-0 lead as you start at the bottom of the 5th here in Anchorage. I'm also following with Emma Tiedemann. Tanner Pinkston to start things off against Johnny Reed, the lefty out of Azusa Pacific, and the first pitch is a breaking ball in there called strike, a little high. Pinkston, then Jacob Hayes and Eric Hutting. The Miners could desperately use a 1-2-3 inning. 0-1 coming from Reed. Swing, ground ball up the middle, a base hit. Ball hit very hard just to the right of the mound and just to the right of the second base bag. So a leadoff single for Pinkston, his 3rd hit. He's now 3 for 3 with 3 singles. And here comes Jacob Hayes. Hayes singled in the 3rd. He is 1 for 2. Grounded reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd. And then was caught stealing. Bats from the left side against lefty Reed. First pitch is a fastball in there called strike. 0-2 on Hayes. Pinkston with a lead off first. Here's the pitch. Ground ball right side. Scooped by the second baseman. Connolly flips to second for 1 on to first. Not in time. Too much speed for Jacob Hayes. He claps his hands. And heads back to first base. He was running so hard he overran that first base bag.
Now batting number 3, Eric Hutting.
So Eric Hutting comes to the plate. Hutting singled in the third. He scored, flew out to left in the second. Bats on the right side. First pitch. Fastball up and away, ball 1. Reed's fastball touches around 88, 89. One 0. Breaking ball. In there, a called strike. Good pitch from Reed. Got Hutting about knee high. Quick snap throw back over, but Hayes is back. Still 1-1 on Hutting. Hunter Villanueva on deck. 7-0 Panners in the bottom of the 5th. Reed sets. Here's his pitch. Fastball up and away, ball 2, 2-1. No runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Miners. 7 runs, 13 hits, no errors for the Panners. 2-1. Off speed, a little too far outside, ball 3, 3-1. Three and 1. Reed sets. Here's the pitch. Fastball popped up and behind the press box. And onto the main road. Goes under a car in the parking lot of the apartment complex. 3 and 2 on Hutting.
The kid is chasing it under the car and has 3 other baseballs in his hand.
Reed sets. 3-2. Chopped foul over by Mike Grohovic, the third base coach. I feel like that's a good place to live if you want baseballs.
Oh, yeah.
3 and 2, 1 away. 7-0 Panners, bottom of the 5th. Runner at first is Hayes. Reed sets. Here's the 3-2. Foul back, and again, into the parking lot. Up over a bicycle and onto the stairs that lead up to the door of the apartment complex, and that kid just got another ball. It's a lucky day.
Yeah.
3 and 2 on Hutting, 1 away, runner at first. Reed sets. 3-2. High fly ball out to deep center. Frost going back at the track, at the wall, reaches out and can't make the catch. It drops on the track. Here comes Hayes. Hutting stops at second but goes to third on the throw, but now that throw goes into left. And here comes Hutting, and he scores all the way around the bases, not an inside the park home run, but 2-run score, and it is now a 9-0 Panners lead. Hayes and Hutting both score. Now Meyer, Decker, and Reed are on the mound. Now we're going to run through this again. Hutting hit a high fly ball, very, very deep, off that wall in center field. Hayes was already around. He scored easily. Hutting was going to third when he saw that the cutoff man, which was Panachone, threw home to try to get Hayes. Hayes was already safe. And then when Hutting was on his way to third, Meyer had the ball. Meyer threw it into left field, which allowed Hutting to score. So a 9-0 lead for the Panners now. And Hunter Villanueva, the batter. First pitch, swing and a miss. Villanueva 2 for 2, a double in the third and a single in the... Actually, he batted around. Double and single both in the third inning. Oh, 1. Fastball left letter high. Ball 1, 1-1. Official ruling for Hutting has been a double and scored on the error. 1-1, foul back off the mask of Meyer. 1-2. Tyler Mildenberg waits on deck. 14 hits for the Panners. Villanueva taps the batter's box. Here's the 1-2 from Reed. Fastball, check swing, but he went around, and that is strike 3. First strikeout for Johnny Reed. Now there's 2 down in the bottom of the 5th. That brings up Mildenberg. 0 for 2, a ground out to short in the 3rd. He also batted around and grounded back to the pitcher Stubblefield in his first at-bat in the 3rd. First pitch, a called strike. Lefty versus lefty. Reed works quickly, 0-1. Swing and a miss. That was an off-speed pitch, and it's quickly 0-2 on Mildenberg. The pretty much everyday third baseman, Ryan Clark, he's an all-star, not in the lineup tonight. Pitch is a fastball low and hits the dirt, scooped by Meyer, and it's ball 1, 1-2 on Mildenberg. Pitch called, strike 3. Second strikeout for Johnny Reed. That's back-to-back Ks. But the Panners add 2 more. It's 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and nobody left on. It's a 9-0 lead for the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks. We are through 5 on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Top of the 6th, and the Miners still trail the Panners 9-0 here. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock. First up for the Miners is Cameron Frost. First pitch swing, line drive to the second baseman. Villanueva goes down on his knee to make the catch. That is 1 away. Brings up Johnny Loker, 0 for 2. Struck out swinging in the 2nd inning after working the count full. And then had a fly out in the 4th inning to the 3rd baseman, Mildenberg. Steps in, and the 0-1 pitch is a swing and a miss for strike 1. For Johnny Loker out of Stanford University. Hitting .358 with 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, and 9 doubles. 0-1 pitch by Benson is blown away for ball 1. A little bit of cloud cover moving in here in Anchorage. Still a beautiful day. 70 degrees. 1-1 swung on and fouled off of Loker. That's strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Panners lead the Miners 9-0. Benson sets and delivers the 1-2. Lifted foul, but giving chase is Hutting the catcher, and it is off of our press box. And Loker stays alive with the 1-2 count. Outfield playing straight away for the Panners, but left fielder Caruso is quite a few steps to our right. Not quite in left center field, but definitely in that general area. Outfield playing straight away. 1-2 pitch. Lifted deep into left field. Charging is Caruso, the left fielder, and makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 away here in the top of the 6th, and Terrence Conley, the second baseman, heading to the plate. Conley 0 for 2. Struck out looking in the second inning and grounded out to the shortstop, Nolf, in the 4th. Conley bats left but throws right, out of UNC Wilmington. Open stance. First pitch by Benson is outside and dropped by Hutting, but called strike 1. Conley has 12 RBIs and 4 doubles, including 1 triple this season up here in Alaska. Waves the bat over the plate. 0-1 pitch. Outside and high for ball 1. 1-1 count for Conley. Conley hitting .276. 1-1 pitch by Benson is a little outside for ball 2. Benson gets the sign from his catcher Hutting. Sets and delivers a 2-1. Lifted high and foul out of play on the third base side. Conley now with a 2-2 count and 2 outs. Terrence steps into the left-handed batter's box. 2-2 pitch by Benson is another foul ball down the third base side, out of play. Terrence takes a deep breath just outside of the batter's box and steps back in. Looks at his pitcher, Benson. Benson sets. And the 2-2. Another foul ball for Conley. Conley working a good at-bat here. The shortstop, Nolf, and the second baseman, Villanueva, both playing on that turf grass just outside the infield turf dirt. What would be dirt. The outfield is natural grass, though, here at Mulcahy. And the 2-2 pitch is swung on and lined into right center field for a base hit. Conley now standing at first base, and Mitchell now the designated hitter heading to the plate.
Yeah, that's right there. That's exactly what the Miners need. They just got to, even though there's 2 outs, you just need to step at a time. Just hit. Just rally them in. You don't always need a big home run.
Mitchell now 2 for 2 with 2 singles, 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 5th, and was left on base on third base each time. So there are 2 outs here on the top of the 6th. The Miners trail the Panners 9-0. Conley at first, now at the plate. First pitch swing, and it's high fly ball just behind first base. Second baseman Villanueva calls for it, under it, and makes the catch for the 3rd out. That is no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. The Panners lead the Miners 9-0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Brandon Caruso leading things off in the bottom of the 6th. The Painters lead the Miners 9-0. John Reed still on the mound for the Miners. First pitch to Caruso in there, called strike 1. Caruso grounded out to first baseman Decker in the first inning, walked in the third after working the count full, and scored a run. 0-1, called strike 2 on that outside part of the plate. Caruso also had a single in the 4th inning, then grounded out in a 1-6-3 double play. 0-2 count is high for ball 1.
Caruso and Reed were college teammates last season at Pepperdine.
Caruso hitting .265. Here's the 1-2 pitch by Reed. It's low for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. Caruso has 1 home run, 12 RBIs, 6 doubles, and 3 triples. 2-2 pitch by Reed. Swung on and ground ball just to the left of the mound and into left center field for a leadoff single for the Panthers.
And that's the 15th hit for the Panthers.
That brings up Scott Hurst. Hurst, the center fielder for the Panthers tonight. 1 for 3. Grounded out in the first, had a RBI double in the 3rd, and grounded out into a 1-6-3 double play in the 4th. Throw to first, check on Caruso. He's safe. Caruso at first, and Hurst at the plate. Nobody out. The Panthers lead 9-0. The bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch swung on and fouled back. Strike 1. Looks like it hit the home plate umpire, Tim Davis.
We've seen him just get hit a lot this summer.
This is the second time this evening that he's been hit. And then was he the home plate umpire against the Bucks at Herman Brothers? He got hit in the head.
Yeah.
Before the game even started. It was warm-up throws.
And he got hit in the foot here, whatever it was, during the warm-up toss in this game. The first time. This is the second time they're checking on him.
The other umpire, that Tim Vertez talking with Reed and Meyer just in front of the mound. Tim Davis taking a few more kind of deep breathing. And he seems to be fine. And Robert Mays heads back down the first base line. And Josh Meyer, the catcher, heading back to the plate. So it is an 0-1 count on Hurst at the plate. Oh, 1 pitch by Reed, lifted high and deep into left field. Loker, the left fielder, goes back, then moves to his right to make the catch for the first out. Loker was just in front of the warning track out in left field. And that brings up Cody Nolf, the shortstop. Nolf 2 for 3 with a single and a double and a ground out. Nolf, the right-handed batter. Pitch by Reed is a ground ball to the diving third baseman, Jordan Rogers. And Rogers, he was trying to take it out of his glove. The ball actually got behind him. And so Cody Nolf was able to reach on the single. It's not going to be an error on Rogers. That moves Caruso to second, Nolf to first, and Bazoian at the plate. Bazoian steps in. He struck out swinging in the first inning. 2-run RBI double in the third, and flew out to first baseman Matthew Decker in the fourth. First pitch swing, and it's fouled off the mask of Josh Meyer. 0-1 count.
No runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Miners, and 9 runs, 16 hits, no errors for the Panners. It's really not so much it's the 16 hits, and that they haven't been big hits. And it's like we saw, it's just single after single after single.
0-1 pitch, swing and a miss by Bazoian, now with the 0-2 count.
And it's also most of these guys for the Panners, they have speed. So if they are on first base, they get to second, or they get even to third, and the next thing you know, they score, or they're on second base, they're able to come all the way around and score.
Bazoian with the 0-2 count and 1 out. Here's a pitch by Reed, swung on and fouled straight back. Stays alive with the 0-2 count. Bazoian hitting .308, 9 home runs, 38 RBIs, and 10 doubles. Caruso on second, Nolf at first. The Panners lead the Miners 9-0. Bottom of the 6th inning. Reed sets. Quick look at second and delivers the 0-2. Breaking ball. Strike swing off the bat of Bazoian. Foul. 0-2 count remains for Bazoian.
You know, it may be 9-0, but as we know from watching the Miners all summer long, no matter what the lead is, don't count them out. You know, they've threatened early. They've been leaving runners on. That's the issue right now.
0-2 pitch. Bazoian swung on and into left field. Caruso rounds third and heads home. The throw in, he's safe. That is a 10-0 ball game. Bazoian with an RBI single. Caruso scores. Nolf moves to second. And just like that, the Panners are up 10-0, but Ben Taylor's out of the dugout and going to talk things over with Tim Davis, the home plate umpire.
Now, number 28, Tanner Pinkston.
Ben Taylor and Tim Davis still chatting just behind home plate. And the call stands. So it's a 10-0 ball game. The Miners trail here in the bottom of the 6th with Cody Nolf at second and Vaughn Bazoian at first with an RBI single. Tanner Pinkston at the plate.
You know, I think Ben Taylor was just arguing not so much that he tagged him, but maybe he was out of position.
First pitch to Pinkston is outside, ball 1. Pinkston 3 for 3 with 3 singles and 1 RBI. Also scored a run back in the 3rd inning. 1-0 pitch is inside for ball 2. Reed looks into his catcher, Meyer. Outfield playing straight away for the Miners. Reed sets, and the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. 2 runners on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Panners lead 10-0 over the Miners. Lefty versus lefty matchup between Johnny Reed and Tanner Pinkston. 2-1 pitch. Is a ground ball to the diving shortstop, Panajone. Flips to Conley at second for 1. And Decker at first for the 3rd. It is a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. But 1 run scores on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. As we head to the top of the 7th, the Miners trail the Panners 10-0. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Top of the 7th inning, and the Miners trail the Panners 10-0 here at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage. I'm Emma Tiedemann alongside Austin Pollock. Due up for the Miners, Jordan Rogers, Paul Panachone, and Cam Newell. First pitch to Rogers in there, called strike one. Rogers out of the University of Tennessee. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. Strike two. Rogers put down a bunt, ground out in the 3rd inning. Had a double in the 5th. Swung on and ground ball to the 3rd baseman. Mildenberg throws to 1st. And Rogers is out. Back to the top of the order with Paul Panachone. Panachone 1 for 3, flew out in the 1st inning. Had a single in the 3rd, but was left on base and struck out looking in the 5th. Paul Panachone out of Grand Canyon University. Pitch by Benson. Fastball low and away for ball 1. Panachone has 13 RBIs and 12 doubles. 1-0 low for ball 2. Panachone with a .290 batting average. 2-0 pitch. Swung on and lifted foul for strike 1.
Lights perhaps starting to come on. There's a light right behind the first base bag that is come on.
The one behind the 3rd base bag is coming on too. 2-1 pitch, ground ball to the shortstop Nolf. Bobbles it, throw to 1st. In time. He's out. Nolf threw it after he bobbled it. Pinkston grabbed it. He was reaching down further past the 1st base bag where he caught it. And caught it in time and then fell off the bag. He was reaching so far, but the first base umpire Robert Maces said that he caught it in time.
He must have just kept that spike on the base.
That is the 2nd out here in the top of the 7th. Cam Newell, first pitch swing and a miss for strike 1. Newell is 0 for 3 with 3 flyouts. 1 to right field, 1 to center field, and 1 to the shortstop. Newell out of UC Santa Barbara. A lefty. 0-1 pitch. Swung on and ground ball to the first baseman. Pinkston takes it himself to the bag, and it is a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Miners here on the top of the 7th. And as we head to the bottom of the 7th, the Miners trail the Panners 10-0. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Bottom of the 7th inning, and the Panners lead the Miners 10-0 here in Anchorage. First pitch to Hayes is a little high for Ball 1. Jacob Hayes 2 for 3 with 2 singles and reached on his fielder's choice. 1-0 fouled back. Hayes was also caught stealing in the second inning. Has scored 2 runs and has batted in 1 run. Reed looks on to his catcher Meyer and delivers the 1-1. Inside, called strike 2. Outfield playing straight away. Along with the infield, Rogers playing a little bit in at third base. Now backs up. 1-2 pitch is low and in the turf for ball 2.
Hayes, the lefty baddie against the left-handed pitcher, Reed.
Reed with a 2-2 pitch. Check swing, and he went around for the third strikeout for Reed. That brings up Eric Hutting, the catcher. Eric is 2 for 3. Flew out in the second inning, then had hit a single in the third and scored a run. Then had an RBI double in the fifth after working the count full. Pitch outside, ball 1 to Hutting. Hutting hitting .310, 4 home runs, 23 RBIs, 4 doubles, and 1 triple. Catching tonight for Mike Benson. 1-0 breaking ball in there, called strike 1.
You know, I think Johnny Reed's been pretty good in his relief outing. He just needs a little run support.
1-1 low, ball 2. Yeah, whenever you're down 10-1, you know, he has been doing a great job. He's only had 1 run scored on him off of 6 hits. 3 runs scored off 6 hits. Swing and a miss for strike 2 by Hutting.
And with an offense like the Miners, usually that's pretty good to get a win or to have yourself to put yourself in a good position. But just the big 0 in that run column for the Miners.
2-2 pitch. Swung on and ground ball into center field. Charging is Frost. And that is another hit for the Panners. And a single for Eric Hutting with Hunter Villanueva at the plate. Villanueva 2 for 3. Had an RBI double, a single, and scored. Struck out swinging in the 5th inning at his last at bat. First pitch, breaking ball, stays upstairs for ball 1. Hutting with a lead off at first. Decker covering the bag. 1-0 pitch, low and away, ball 2.
I think I said this before. I think I said this maybe during the Scout Showcase. There's a rip sort of in that left quad for Villanueva in his pants.
2-0 inside, ball 3.
Right quad. Almost.
The back of his leg.
Right.
Two balls and no strikes to Villanueva, the second baseman. Outside, ball 4. So that puts Villanueva at first, Hutting at second, and Mildenberg, the third baseman, at the plate, 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Struck out looking in the 5th.
Brad Baker pops out of the Miners' dugout, heads out to talk with Reed and Meyer. Mildenberg, the only Panner not to have a hit. And then every other Panner has at least 2 except for Hurst. He has 1.
Panners have 10 runs on 18 hits and no errors. The Miners 0 runs on 6 hits and 2 errors. Brad Baker talking with Johnny Reed and Josh Meyer, the catcher, on the mound.
Home plate umpire Tim Davis was kicking some of those, what do you call them? You just call them pellets? Black?
Yeah, turf.
Turf pellets off of home plate. Trying to clean it up.
Meyer heading back to the plate. Rogers heading back to third base. He was talking with Paul Panichon, the shortstop. So Mildenberg, the lefty, heads back to the plate. Lefty versus lefty with Reed on the mound. Hutting at second, Villanueva at first. Both have a lead off their bases. Frost playing deep in center field. Reed sets, and the first pitch. In there, called strike one. Mildenberg waves the bat over home plate. Sets, slightly open stance. 0-1, swung on and a slow ground ball to the third baseman. Rogers diving for it, can't make the throw to first or second. Decides to hold it, and now the bases are loaded with one out. And back to the top of the batting order with Brandon Caruso.
Ruled a single for Mildenberg.
Now that is number 2.
And now every Panner has a hit.
So Hutting at third, Villanueva at second, Mildenberg at first, and Brandon Caruso at the plate with one out. Panners lead 10-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch by Reed is low in the turf for ball 1. Caruso 2 for 3. He's had 2 singles and a ground out. Was walked in the third after working the count full and scored a run. 1-0 pitch by Reed is fouled on the first base side. Strike 1.
I think part of the problem here is it's really not getting those first pitch strikes. Caruso, first pitch was a ball. Hayes' first pitch was a ball. Hutting first pitch was a ball. Same for Villanueva, but Mildenberg, first pitch was a called strike.
1-1, high ball 2. All runners have a lead off their base. Base is full of Panners. Reed sets and delivers the 2-1. High and away for ball 3. Caruso steps back into the batter's box after taking some practice swings. Has his back right foot right on the edge of that back line of the batter's box. 3-1 pitch. Inside, called ball 4. And that scores in the 11th run for the Panners. Eric Hutting moves Villanueva to third, Mildenberg to second, Caruso at first. And now it is an 11-0 ball game here in the bottom of the 7th. And Scott Hurst at the plate, and that is Ben Taylor coming out of the dugout for the Miners. And we will probably have a pitching change. And we'll step aside briefly to find out who that is and bring you everything you need to know about the new pitcher. We'll be right back after this. New pitcher is John Boyer, hometown kid for the Miners. He will face Scott Hurst. Comes in with the bases loaded and 1 out. Villanueva at third. He reached on a walk. Mildenberg reached on a single. He's at second. And Caruso at first. He was walked by Jonathan Reed. Hurst 1 for 4. First pitch by Boyer is in there, called strike 1.
Boyer from Wasilla and out of Kansas City Community College. Tall right-hander.
0-1, a little bit low for ball 1.
Boyer is 6'6".
Extremely tall. Decker at first place playing behind Caruso. 1-1 pitch by Boyer. Catches that outside part of the strike zone against Hurst for strike 2.
During batting practice, Boyer was actually shagging fly balls, and around left center field, and there was a fly ball, and he threw his glove up in the air and caught the ball. That was today.
1-2 pitch by Boyer, swung on and ground ball to the second baseman. Conley fields it, goes to first, but Villanueva scores. And Mildenberg moves to third, Caruso to second. Hurst is out 4-3, and now it is an 12-0 ball game with the Panthers leading the Miners in the bottom of the 7th. Brings up Cody Nolf, the shortstop. Steps into the right-handed batter's box. Pitch by Boyer. Fastball over the plate, called strike 1. Nolf 3 for 4 with 2 singles and a double. Has not scored a run, though. Also grounded out in the 3rd inning. 0-1, breaking ball, swung on and lifted high and foul. Back behind the plate for strike 2.
Boyer hasn't gotten a lot of playing time, but ever since the Scout Showcase, he's gotten some appearances, and he's pitched well. He really has.
0-2 pitch. Swung on and lifted foul on the other side of the plate. Stays live with the 0-2 count. Cody Nolf hitting .322, has 9 RBIs. 9 home runs, 38 RBIs, 11 doubles, and 1 triple. Steps in, and the 0-2 pitch by Boyer is a little low for ball 1.
That kid just got another ball.
He must have at least 5 or 6 by now. He's just having a grand old time out there. 1-2 pitch by Boyer, swung on and fouled back for his 3rd foul ball.
I feel like that kid collects foul balls.
Yeah, I think I would too.
I want to find out how many he has.
It looks like Tim Davis was hit again. Waving off Grahovic, the 3rd base coach for the Panthers.
BT's just sticking around, talking.
And one of the field umpires, Tim Vertez, just gives Tim Davis a hug right behind the plate.
Mike Grahovic's laughing about it.
Looks like Grahovic is in a little bit better spirits than Ben Taylor. His team up 12-0 in the bottom of the 7th.
I think Cody Nolf was laughing a little bit too. Another thing that makes baseball great. There's always sort of that laughing moment.
So Tim Davis yet again will stay behind the plate. And it is a 1-2 count for Cody Nolf at the plate with 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th and 2 runners on. Mildenberg at 3rd and Caruso at 2nd. Boyer looks into his catcher Meyer. Wind up and the 1-2 pitch. A little bit low for ball 2. Nolf taps the plate and waves the bat over home plate. 2-2 pitch by Boyer is low and away for ball 3. Now full count for Nolf.
Boyer's living with, is it Isaiah Terrazas? Is that who
I
he's living with?
don't know. Swung on and a ground ball into left field. That brings in Mildenberg along with Caruso. And it is a 2-run single for Cody Nolf. And now a 14-0 ball game here at Mulcahy Stadium. So the Painters lead the Miners 14-0. The sun coming out again. There are 2 outs and 1 runner on. That is Cody Nolf at a two-run single. And now Vaughn Bazoian at the plate, 2 for 4 tonight. First pitch by Boyer, swung on and off the body of Bazoian for strike 1. Boyer looks into his catcher Meyer, gets the signs, sets, looks over his shoulder at first base. 0-1 is lifted into center field. Frost charging in, makes the catch for out number 3. But 4-run score on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on as we head to the top of the 8th. The Miners trail the Painters 14-0. You're listening to the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Top of the 8th inning here at Mulcahy Field in Anchorage. The Painters lead the Miners 14-0. First pitch from Mike Benson is broken bat, liner out toward deep right, and it goes right into the glove of Jacob Hayes for out number 1. I'll bring up Josh Meyer.
Now batting number 24, Josh Meyer.
Meyer is 0 for 3. He struck out in the 5th. First pitch, swinging, fouled off to the right side, out of play. Meyer points his bat, hands above his head. 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Cameron Frost on deck, the center fielder from Washington State. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Another strikeout for Benson. And there's 2 down. That is his 6th.
Now batting number 22, Cameron Frost.
Now bringing up Cameron Frost. 1 for 3. He lined out to second in the 6th. Flew out to right in the 4th. Singled in the 2nd. First pitch is low, ball 1. Apparently there is a new pitcher we were not notified about. 1-0 pitch to Frost is upstairs, letter high. Ball 2. The pitcher is Jason Ford. Two-0 pitch. Swinging a little dribbler over by the Miners' first base dugout. Pitch outside and away. 3-1. Frost taps the plate. A little bit of an open stance. 3-1 pitch from Ford. Swing and a foul straight back. Out of play, and that hits the roof of a car, and there are two people standing right near that car. 3-2 pitch to Cameron Frost. Fly ball to right. Jacob Hayes went back. Now comes a couple steps in. Makes the catch. 4 out, number 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Jason Ford. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Still a 14-0 Panners lead. We head to the bottom of the 8th on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Yeah, we apologize. We weren't really told about that pitching change, but Mike Benson went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits. Didn't give up any runs, walked 2, and struck out 5. Jason Ford pitched the 7th and the 8th. And the first pitch to Tanner Pinkston is a called strike on the outer half against John Boyer, the righty from Wasilla, Alaska. 0-1. Same pitch, same spot, same result. 0-2 on Pinkston. Tanner 3 for 4, runs scored and an RBI. 0-2. Fastball too far outside, ball 1. Pinkston grounded a 6-4-3 double play in the 6th, singled in the 5th, singled in the 2nd and 3rd as he sends a fly ball out to deep center. Frost going back toward the track and makes the catch on the run for out number 1. I'll bring up Jacob Hayes. 2 for 4, scored 2 runs and an RBI. 2 hits for Hayes are both singles, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th. Taps the plate, bats from the left side. First pitch from Boyer. Off-speed pitch in there, called strike. Boyer works quickly, pitching from the windup. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Now it's 0-2. Hayes chased a breaking ball from Boyer. Boyer quickly gets the signs from Meyer. Here's the 0-2 from Boyer. Chopper foul, first base side, out of play, still 0-2. Panners lead the Miners 14-0 in the bottom of the 8th. No runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Miners. 14 runs, 20 hits, no errors for the Panners as Hayes check swings and fouls it off to the left side, out of play, still 0-2. Hayes from Indiana State. Eric Hutting, the catcher, is on deck. He's 3 for 4. First 0-2 is outside, ball 1, 1-2. Outfield straight away. Meyer gives the signs to Boyer in the infield. Connolly is taking a couple steps into that outfield grass. 1-2. Change up left upstairs. 2-2. Panachone on the edge of the dirt and the grass. Of course, it's turf. 2-2. Change up lifted into left center. That's down for a base hit. Frost gives it a chase to the wall. He picks it up now. Hayes rounding second, heading to third. And he is in there safely with a one-out triple.
Hayes just had a lot of speed heading around those bases, and Panichon, the shortstop, kind of bobbled the throw in by Frost, and I think that if Hayes wasn't already sliding by that time, he might have gone all the way. He was just so fast.
Yeah, for a second it looked like just a routine fly ball to deep right, but Frost had to track that one down. It got over his head. Here's Eric Hutting, the catcher. 3 for 4, 3 runs scored. First pitch is a slider in there, called strike on the inner half, 0-1 on Hutting. Hutting out of Long Beach State. Runner at third, 1 out, and a 14-0 Panthers lead in the bottom of the 8th. 0-1. Breaking ball too far low, ball 1-1-1. Boyer with the glove over his face. Waits for Hutting. Here's the 1-1. Chopper, third base side, charging is Rogers. Gives a look at Hayes at third. Throws across the diamond to first to get Hutting. And he looked at Hayes to make sure he wasn't going. And now there's 2 down. And that'll bring up Hunter Villanueva. Villanueva 2 for 3, scored 2 runs. Every Panther in the lineup has scored at least 1 run except for Cody Nolf. But he's 4 for 5.
Yeah, he's had 4 hits, including 1 RBI single.
First pitch to Villanueva is a slider, low and away, ball 1. Boyer, one of the locals, along with Josh Grissom. 1-0. Change up in there, called strike in the lower part of the zone, 1-1. Game 2, top of the World Series, is tomorrow at 4 o'clock. 1-1. Very outside. Myers to scoot over to his right to make the catch, to make the play. 2-1. 14-0 Panthers, bottom of the 8th. 2-1 from Boyer. Fastball, outer half, a called strike, 2-2. Two. Fouled off of Meyer, not Tim Davis. 2-2. Feel bad for him.
He's just getting beat up. Grahovic, the third base coach for the Panthers, is laughing and yelling at Tim Davis down the line.
2-2. Slow roller, third base side. Rogers charging, scoops it. Off balance throw to first. Got him! Very athletic play by Jordan Rogers at third base. And that gets John Boyer out of a jam. It's no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. We are through 8 full. We head to the 9th. Panthers lead the Miners 14-0. We'll be right back on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Top of the 9th here in Game 1 of the Top of the World Series. The Panthers lead the Miners 14-0. Johnny Loker, Terrence Connolly, and Mitchell now against Chase and Ford. Ford started the 7th inning, has retired all 6 batters he's faced. Johnny Loker stands in 0 for 3. Ford pitching from the stretch. First pitch, fastball low and away, ball 1. Be sure to stick with us for the Matsu Miners postgame show. We're going to have to keep it brief. just because we have to get back to Palmer. 1-0 pitch to Loker. Line into center, and Hurst has trouble getting off his feet. And that is a leadoff single for Johnny Loker. His first hit of the night. So now the leadoff runner on, Terrence Connolly coming to the plate. Like I said, short post-game show. We'll wrap this one up. Get you ready for Game 2 tomorrow. Connolly stands in on the left side against the righty Ford. Loker on first. First pitch. Fastball outer half, a called strike, 0-1. (14-0), top of the ninth. Here's the 0-1 from Ford, low and scooped by Hutting, 1-1. It is 9:40 here in Alaska. 1-1. Fastball outside, 2-1. Two and one on Connolly. Infield at double play depth. 2-1. Chopper left side, scooped by Codino. Flips to second to Villanueva on to first. And that's a double play. 6-4-3, and now there's 2 down in the top of the ninth. And here comes Mitchell now, the designated hitter from Texas A&M. He's 2 for 3. Single in the third, single in the fifth. Popped out to second in the sixth. That's from the right side. First pitch, swinging. Popped up on the infield. Hutting and Pinkston give chase. Pinkston over by the dugout, reaches into the stands. Makes the catch for out number 3. And the Alaska Goldpanners of Fairbanks take Game 1 of the Top of the World Series. They defeat the Mat-Su Miners 14-0, and it was rough from the third inning on, and we're going to wrap this one up in just a minute. We'll be right back on the Mat-Su Miners postgame show. All right, back here on the Mat-Su Miners postgame show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Like we said, we do need to make this one very quick. And Emma, it was the third inning on. The first 2 innings went well. They had a little bit of offense, and the pitching was pretty good with Tyler Stubblefield. But the third inning, and it just took off, and the Panners really never looked back.
Yeah, and we knew it was going to be tough for the Miners. Stubblefield was facing Benson. And so I knew that the hitting might struggle a little bit, but it was kind of back and forth the first 2 innings, maybe one hit here or there for both teams. And then the third inning, the Panners just exploded and scored, 7 runs off 7 hits, and they were just lights out with the bats. And I think that the Miners really, once you score 7 runs and you're down 7-0 in the third inning, mentally that kind of gets you down. And, I think that was just, struggling. And the bats for the Panners are hot right now, and clearly they're a very talented team, very good with hitting, and it really showed tonight.
Yeah, there weren't even that many extra base hits. It was just single, guys in. And most of the damage for the Panners was done with 2 outs, so that's one of the biggest issues. It's you got to close when you've got 2 outs and 2 strikes. Just get that last pitch. And, I mean, it's certainly easier said than done, but really it's a lack of offense too, no runs. And Miners, they usually always get a run or 2 in there at least. It's very rare they get shut out. But, it's the top of the World Series. There's a lot of pressure coming in, and they've played a lot of games. A lot of guys, you're tired, and you've played a long summer, and you just sort of need to – you don't really get as many off days, I think, as you want. And, I think the only thing they can really do is just regroup, forget about it, and just go at it tomorrow and say, you know what? Let's just attack these guys and let's see what we can do. But we got to find a way to win if you want to stay alive, because Game 2, 4 o'clock tomorrow. It is an elimination game for the Miners because it is a best-of-3 series. And like we said, we're going to keep it quick. We are going to wrap it up. So once again, for Emma Tiedemann, I'm Austin Pollock. We'll be back. Game 2 tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Game 3, if necessary, at around 6:30. And, we'll be back. Post-game show, 15 minutes before the game, 3:45. So once again, the final score here from Anchorage, the Panners win Game 1 of the Top of the World Series. They defeat the Matsu Miners 14-0. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon.